No problem.
Rod, I'll wait for. I'm gonna wait for Mose to start the anchor on the line there, and
Copy.
hey, looking good in that uniform.
Thank you.
Actually, yeah, that is a point. Mose, start right side formation, please, because I just remembered Tyler needs to load in.
Brick needs some time.
Yeah.
14th guys, which one of y'all is Will Maddock?
Lore.
All right, Laura. Remember your helmet. Your helmet is currently off.
I'm in your server, Jaeger.
Copy that. Just give me a sec and I'll send you an invite.
Alright, Mose is present.
Yeah, we'll wait for the 5th to start their line, and then 14th will line up at the end of the 5th.
Just go far right here. Mose right in front of me will do. There you go. Having some inventory trouble right now.
Is my equipment showing?
It is
Negative.
Okay. It says it's equipped, but it's not.
Yep, I'm having some trouble getting my helmet on. This will be interesting.
Play with
Hey.
helmets off, sounds good.
There it goes. Whoop. Now you're back in the cities.
Yes. Okay.
Well, let's hope this doesn't kill us in space, but it's a possibility that might happen. But yeah, we could probably find a way around that if it comes to it.
I'm gonna try unequipping everything and then re-equipping it, see if that'll work. Or not. Okay, now I'm back in this. Oh,
How many
wish me
fifth
luck to
or,
my medical death.
How many 5th are here? Is it 5 of y'all?
We are just waiting on Tyler, right?
It should just be me.
Yeah, and Bullock, yeah. Bullock just go off Abraham. Alright, go ahead and join on in with your 14th. Tyler will catch up in a sec.
Is it just me, or is it taking forever to put armor on and swap it out?
Yeah, it's the Infinity.
Jaeger, do you want me to meet up with you guys in the harbor, in the station itself?
Please. And John, go ahead and grab your ship, your bulk. Take it on down to, I think it's SMO 10. Let me know if there's actually garages there. I'm pretty sure there are. Alright, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Evening, rather. What's this guy doing? Jesus fuck. So we're going to go ahead and crack on with Atmo Assault and Combine Harness. Most of you from the 5th already done plenty of this, know very much how it works, but it's good to see you here anyway. Rehearsal is always a good thing. Most of you from the 14th, I think, first time doing it, so trying to get those reserve certs in. It's very good. We will start out going through Prowler processes on boarding up and disembarking, but we won't actually be able to due to time constraints today. But talk with Svetlana. She's going to go ahead and run exercises of her own within the 14th to cover a little bit more zero-G training in that regard. But for today, you'll be boarding and disembarking within Atmo. Process is all the same. The only difference is just the zero-G environment's a little bit, disorienting, different from being on planet. So procedures are very similar. But just be aware of that. But like I said, you'll get that covered in your own FTXs at one point. Once that's done, we move on to Valkyrie training. There is a difference in procedures on the same thing. It's different craft designed for different sorts of jobs. As some of you probably know, some of you may not. Prowler we usually use for 0G deployment within space. Sometimes it might be used for some sort of covert op due to its improved stealth capability, but that's not really something we practice too much right now. Ultimately, for Atmo, you use the Valkyrie, better designed for it, more armored, and so forth. We will go through also some rover training, the Ursa rover, how to embark, disembark that thing from the actual Valkyrie itself, and then to actually how to use that in the combined arms theater, at least for disembarking and embarking standards. At some point, but we don't do it yet because of the lack of, I guess, fidelity, throttle control of ground vehicles right now. We don't really practice too much in the way of how to perform a convoy with marching side-by-side infantry on ground vehicles, just because of the fact we can't keep the pacing stable. Most people, especially if they don't have a dedicated OTAS rig of some sort. Eventually that will be a thing, and that will be incorporated, but as for today, it's not going to be part of the protocol for today. We won't be able to cover the Cyclone, but the process is not dramatically different. It's ultimately a scout vehicle anyway, not a combat vehicle. Any questions? Brilliant. Okay, just wait if you get in uniform there, Todd.
And my thing's still bugged, so I gotta wait a little bit.
Got it. Alright, in that case, if you could please grant us your Prowler.
Strong copy.
Fallout.
Make sure everyone has hydrated and full belly.
Yeah, if you miss lunch, you're not getting fed.
Jaeger, ETA 2 minutes. My apologies.
That's fine, man. Just, catch up when you can.
Yep.
Wolves and Eagles, be advised, we are on pad 1, pad 01.
Copy that. So all bunch up one elevator now.
No, it'll be fun.
Sorry, Rainer's not here for you.
Excuse me.
Eager at crashing, I'm reloading.
Copy. Let us please form up two lines outside the ass of this ship, please. 5th in one, 14th in the other. Front to back.
Confirm pad 1 for the, Prowler?
Yeah, that's right. Falling off of Hal, your senior rank there right now. Alright, just give me 2 seconds.
That didn't sound good.
Nope.
Enjoy the show.
Fireworks.
Yeah, just fucking lagged right out and it blew up my ship.
Oh no,
Really?
that was Matthias, alright.
Yeah. I was
Did
doing
you-
just fine, and then I was like, oh, you are now dead.
I could see your corpse drifting through the void.
Yeah. I was just gonna EVA over, too. What a shame.
Yeah, your
Alright,
ship
well.
keeps getting hit by the rotating arm. It's quite amusing.
Yeah. Alright, looks like I'm not getting involved then. Best of luck, gentlemen.
Roger that.
My apologies.
Hey, shit happens.
Yep. Next week.
User left your channel.
Alright. Just waiting on Tyler, right? Or is your nameplate lagging?
No, my thing fully fresh. I gotta reload.
Oh, that's correct.
Hey, make sure to set your spawn location, man.
Okay, so here's the rundown of how this thing works. First off, before we actually crack on with that, can anybody tell me why we do this, why this is important, why the procedures for what we do, and embarking, disembarking is a thing, why we do it? There's multiple reasons for this, but what is the number one important reason?
Is it the issue with like clutter? Want to be kind of quick and efficient when deploying? Would it be in atmosphere or out of atmosphere?
Definitely efficiency is one thing. I wouldn't say it's the most important reason, but it's definitely one thing. Alright, main reason is transition. Sorry, what?
Said we're most vulnerable in transition.
Vulnerability, so that kind of goes hand in hand with the point of what safety. Number one reason, safety. Later down the line, it's going to become very important because when you die, you are out. You won't get respawns like you currently have now. It won't be as easy as that. So this is all getting ready for that kind of situation whenever that comes into play. Most of you that have done Atmo assault and all these other kind of procedures that I've done training with you in have pretty much picked up on that and started to memorize it very well. So that's great. Onto the Prowler itself. So how we do this, you have your formation set up however you are with your fire team leaders. But in this ship, when you board up, we do this in a backwards formation, which means, if I remember it correctly, I believe there's 16 harnesses inside the back. Your squads take up the center line ones, and there are 4 towards the bow, and then 4 towards the aft section of the ship. So typically we get the commanding officers on the forward harnesses, better protection. That's kind of a recommendation by the 4th. So that's what we do. Your infantry personnel all stay in the center. And then on the far end harnesses by the exit doors is usually where you might have your squad leaders and fire team leaders if you don't have enough center line ones. But as I said, you embark in a backwards formation. So if you got your formation set up with, say, all right, who died here?
My character just took off its helmet for no reason.
That's cool. In this case, let's get a bit of an example going on here. Greg, why don't you go ahead and designate your team from the 5th you have here in number formation of your choosing.
Alright, copy that. Let's see, gonna make Riker, you're gonna be 1. Chip Law, you're gonna be 2. I'll be 3. Abraham Drinker, you'll be 4.
You change your uniform in space, Moonsinger. Go back in the airlock.
Alright, if you want to shimmy around in your positions to make sure you're in the correct formation, now remember you're going reverse, so that means your rear guard should be at the front in this case. Happy with that, most?
Yes, sir.
Alright, if you could please take your team in, Abraham, to your center line harnesses. Distribute left, right as you go in, rather than bunch up all on one side. You know what, actually scratch that. I'll go left side. Got a better idea. Left side as port. Brilliant. Okay. Lana, any one of your choosing you want to delegate as a fire team leader for this?
Rod, you'll be 1.
Copy.
Sorry, did you set up the rest or?
No, I mean, you want to pick someone to do it so they can set up their team.
Yeah, yep. Rod, you got 1.
Okay. Let's make Let's make Willmatic 2, Moonsinger 3, and Stepa 4.
Alright, memorize your numbers. Go ahead and shimmy yourselves into that formation. Rear guard is at the front.
I would need to go in the front, right? Because it's backwards.
Correct. Yep. So you go 4, 3, 2, 1 as your order.
Happy with that?
Looking good.
Yep.
Okay, please take them on inside. Copy the exact same layout the 5th have done on the starboard side. Alright, looking good. Myself, Lana, we're going to go ahead and take the forward harnesses at the front. Well, actually, you will. I will be piloting this thing. But in this case, typically, this is what you would do. I'm going to go ahead and take us on down now to a outpost where we're going to cover disembarking. And then move on to the Valkyrie. Are there any questions or any comments or concerns at all on the embarking procedure for the Prowler? Cool. Knight, are you at the outpost?
Yeah, Roger.
Alright.
Everybody's looking good back there.
Mic check.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Is Man of the Mayo a member of our party?
Yeah, it's me, my bad.
Okay.
That is Tyler.
Just double checking before I add. Sometimes there's some randos.
Man of the Mayo might unfriend you by accident because I'm spamming the hell out of this.
Okay.
Alright, we're about to enter QT, so do not get out of your seat.
When you say safety, are you talking in the sense of loading onto the ship without, two people colliding and dying, or are you talking about from a standpoint of in a live fire engagement?
Any way possible, really. It's more in this case because when you're embarking like this, you're usually going to be. Well, actually, no, that's not necessarily true. Outside of a combat zone, inside of a combat zone, it really doesn't matter. But it's also, which we have learned the hard way, ship, to make sure that you don't get killed by the ship itself if it's in motion or hovering off the ground or if winds are pushing it around and stuff like that.
Yep.
Alright, I got him.
Copy. We're heading down to mining outpost SMO 18 on Marker Tech. So you can just join us.
I'm in.
10, yeah, that is it, right, 10.
Alright, I'll just grab my ship and head down.
Are you in a rover there?
No.
be advised, weather is inclement. Looks like we are landing in a blizzard, so just be aware of that when we disembark.
Yeah, visibility is pretty terrible, so. Get touchdown. Stay in your seats for a second, please.
Watch out for that dragon right around you.
Don't be alarmed. I'm going to be opening up your doors in a second. Don't get out, as I said. Alright. So, in any case, it doesn't matter if you're on 0G or if you're on planet surface, your disembarking procedure is going to be the same. Let me just get outside. Typically, you are just going to use the doors right in front of you. And then fall into whatever position your SL will tell you to do. But considering the fact we're on planet side right now, we're just going to practice this as such. But in 0G, just know you'd be floating out into space. Keep that in mind. It also makes it much more vulnerable to get clipped by the ship when it moves away. So it's very, very important in this case that you keep clear communication with your jump master, or squad leaders anyway. Keep communication going with their jump masters in this procedure. We don't actually have a proper job master with us today, so unfortunately that we'll just have to improvise a little bit. But in any case, I will substitute it, verbally at least. And Tyler's done route. So Mo's just going to act as SL for the infantry for now, and Rod is going to be SL for the 14. So once I give you the clear signal, that would be green light. Or in this case, once you've touched down, you're going to get the red light signal from your jump master. That just means you're out of final QT destination. You're about to be dropping down very soon. But don't get out of your seat yet. When you get the green light, that means you are ready to start disembarking. Or rather, scratch that, sorry. Red light can also mean get out of your seat. It means also just get prepared to disembark. It will really depend on the order from your SL. Ultimately, though, unless you've gotten given that direct instruction, I wouldn't do it. And then you get your green light, which is go ahead and disembark. So, I'm going to go ahead and simulate that now with we are already in a red light phase, as you currently are right now. So, once I call green light, both teams get follow the instruction of your SL. They will tell you to disembark and disembark into whatever formation they see fit. But in this case of training, all I want you guys to do, disembark a good, let's say 10, 15-ish meters away from the ship. Take a kneel stance. Normally we might do a prone, but for the sake of training, we're just going to do kneel. Prone would definitely be advisable if the ship is not actually landed, if it's just hovering. Reasons I'll explain in a minute. You'll just form a half circle security on your side, going from left to right, right to left, whatever. Any questions?
Mike?
What?
What's the key for the crouch stance, I guess? Or is it different from crouch?
Yeah, it's C for you.
Okay, never mind. I already know, I guess. Thanks.
Anybody else? Brilliant. All right, squad leaders, you're a green light.
All right, Eagles. Disembark. Form on with me. Column formation.
Fifth Wolves go to disembark. One's gonna go first, 2 second, third. And then fourth. Form perimeter about 10, 15 meters outside of the Prowler. On your go, ready whenever.
2 off.
Alright, let's go over to this tree.
Doesn't actually let me out.
It's a little weird.
Hold your eject button.
Bullet can go ahead and join off the team.
Eagle 1 in position.
Roger that.
Wolves are set here.
Hold your ground. Get over here. Go check the other side.
Call information.
Alright. Yeah, disembarking was actually covered very well. As they said, unless you got the reason why obviously you're only moving out typically more than designated, I guess, 15 meters. Your jump master is going to give you the designation of distance from the ship when you disembark. Reason being for that is just so again, the ship kind of knows what to expect when trying to move away. Especially if it is hovering. If you got infantry running around the ship, for example, like you got this big, you can gather around, by the way, great information, you can gather around over. For example, if the ship is hovering, you got this big landing gear piece right here. If the ship is hovering and swinging around all over the place, you can get clipped by this thing, smacked in the head, and you're dead. So that's why we get out, get stationary, wait till the ship moves away, then we pull away to our further away from the ship. I know it sounds unlikely, believe me, it does happen. It has happened to the 5th many times in our earlier days. So yeah, it is a very potential risk. Any questions? Right. Alright, that pretty much concludes the basic process of this Prowler. As I said, a little different in 0G, but ultimately the process is not that different. Knight, where did you park the Vulcan?
On the pad by the vehicle thing.
Alright. Let's march out on your SLs. Tyler, did you group up?
I'm getting my ship right now.
Alright.
Alright, Eagles, one form up on me. We'll keep a 10 or 15 meter spread, and we'll follow Jaeger over there.
Yep, standard column, guys.
Yeah, column on Eagles also.
Let's move. Stay in your column formation.
Left Alt and X to wipe your helmet if you didn't know.
Won't the ship get impounded there, John? If you leave it there?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Getting a lot of desync.
Ditto.
Yeah. Server's not the best, that's alright.
It's okay. Just catch up when you're caught up. Alright, same deal again. Get 2 columns outside for each of your units. Same way you did for the Prowler.
Alright, Eagle 1. Same form up. You'll take the point on the line.
Right. So reverse formation, right?
Correct. So it'll be 4, 3, 2, 1, just like with the Prowler. So Suppa, you're going to want to. Did you put Suppa in the rear?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, set us 4.
Copy that.
I didn't get a number.
At this point, actually, it doesn't matter because the process is going to get reset. I just wanted to get 2 lines set up right now. Okay. Now, in this case, you don't necessarily have to board up backwards. In fact, it's probably advisable that, or rather, not so much advisable, you don't necessarily have to. because in this case you got 2 seating areas, much more seating areas, one on port, one on starboard, and oh my god, it's ice in here. I've never seen that before. 2 seconds. If both of you would like to march on up into this hangar area right here, right in front of me. So respectively, we're going to just use the seating areas for whichever side you're on. So you got the 14th on the starboard. That'll be this seating area right here. 5th on port, so you're going right here. Only thing to really know about the seating arrangement in this ship is, again, you're going to have your officers closer to the bow on these seats right here. If you can actually see me, these doors keep shutting. Yeah, on their own. And then your SLs will typically be on the end seats over here, or fire team leaders even. And then you break up your formation respectively in between. This kind of means you might get a little bit jumbled up when you start disembarking and you have to rearrange everything once you get up, but usually for the sake of this ship, because you got more room to move in, that's not as much of a problem, and it allows you to do that, to start organizing the actual placements when you do that. But ultimately you want to get your SL in a position of good observation once they start backing out. So if you get out of the seating area and you come out to where I am right now, you can easily see where everybody is and start organizing them from there. Just biggest difference is you get a little bit more time to prepare in this ship, because this isn't really as vulnerable, I suppose you could say, as the Prowler. Any questions? Great. Alright, 5th, I'm going to go ahead and take him into that port side, please. And go, you're still substituting SL for the time being.
Copy that.
So I know you're not used to it, but so that would mean you'd be sitting in this chair right here.
Oh, the very front. Okay.
Yep. And then basically same deal on the starboard side. So Rod, you'll take your end seat, everybody else in between, and Lana, you'll take the far forward on the bow.
Are we staggering, or is I thought the did I misunderstand?
Your seating arrangement, you can set them up any way you like, honestly, in this case, because I'm going to allow you to set up your teams however you want to. The thing is typically in the case of this ship, because we get the option of hot dropping out these side doors, or you can go straight out the back in a more organized fashion. We usually don't really know what we're doing until we get into the hot zone in most cases. I kind of leave that up to the Fort to tell me what we're doing. So you usually will probably just want to deal with that once you get your, or close to getting your red light.
Might also be my seating for what it's worth. I came in on the inside here to mirror, what's on the port side seating arrangement.
Right. Yeah.
I thought that the party was forming on the outside, and the SL and CO were forming on the inside.
Correct. That's in an ideal setting, that would be, yeah.
I can't draw my weapon here. John, can you move us outside of the armistice zone, please?
Right. And then 2 and 4, go ahead and swap sides, if you wouldn't mind, please.
Or actually, you know what? Give me just 1 second before you do that. I'm going to go ahead and grab our rover right now.
I'm en route.
Yeah, go ahead and take him outside the armistice zone. I shall just drive to you.
Raj.
Hey, look, a night training.
That's the
Who would have guessed?
All right, people, we are dusting off.
20k out.
Do me a favor, Tyler, when you get here, hover over the garage platform. I'm having a hard time seeing it in this blizzard.
Say that again?
If you could just fly over top of the carriage shelter at the outpost, because I can't see it in this blizzard.
Will do.
Never mind, I found it. Alright, I'll be with you guys in just a second. Regrouping. Okay, if you would like to both please take your teams outside of the seating arrangements out into the hangar area. Effectively, you are red light.
Copy. Alright, Eagles.
Wolves on your feet.
Eagles on your feet. Alright, let's form up.
Yep, form up. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, your guns, you can draw them. Please keep them in the carry position. Just wait for Tyler to get here. Almost here. I may on occasion be pointing my gun in your general direction. Do not be alarmed. I will not shoot you. It will be because I'm using my laser pointer to try and show you guys where to stand and where to be.
Eagles, remember to carry your gun, have it drawn, hold F. Yep, there you go, and select the carry option.
Mayo, I'll go ahead and step back. Tyler, you can go ahead and take the route you go. My bad, Abraham.
Okay. Tyler, go ahead. Please designate your team positions as if you see fit.
I don't have name tags, so I'm gonna go off for memory. Greg 1, Riker 2, me 3, Abraham 4, and I'm missing one person. Who am I missing?
Chip.
You're missing Chip and Bullock, I believe.
Chip 5, Bullock 6.
Copy that.
Please arrange yourselves accordingly. Okay. Similar process, but in this case, we're going to practice as if you just need to instantly enact security. So what I'm going to do is get the 5th to run on out. I'm going to form a half circle on the starboard side of the ship, or rear end starboard. You can come to your last man's whereabouts. I'm standing here to cut it off. So point her out. Don't know if you can see it. Start from over here. And then the 14th will do the same on the opposite side, all the way in a half circle all around here. I don't know if you can see my pointer, but I hope you know what I'm talking about.
It's a little hard to see.
If there's any mistakes, don't worry about it. I'll go ahead and just shimmy you guys around as needed. Tyler, on your go. Maybe you're ready to disembark. You have a green light.
Roger, we'll disembark.
Alright, one moving. One to starboard front. Facing the front.
Isn't that port side?
2 sides.
Yep, this is the port.
Yes, it apologize.
6 posted.
Roger, we'll
2 seconds. Let's get a little bit more wider stretch going on, and Will, if you can just come to whereabouts I am right in front of you.
Copy.
Cool. Alright, run whenever you're ready. You're a green light.
Alright, Eagles, move out. Okay, one's posted. Form on the outside of the vehicle.
Looking sweet. Form for that rover, you guys look perfect. Let me get that out of the way.
Some good screenshots could be happening right now.
Yeah, I'm just going to move this thing so we can do that.
I'm recording.
Remember, for ground deployment, when you take up a security circle like this, you want to be covering your area of, whichever way you're sort of facing. So you want to be facing outward and looking in that area to maintain security. So if you are looking at the ship, you want to be turned around facing outward.
Alright, go ahead and grab some pictures.
Are we still on the carry on the weapons?
No, if you're in security, you may now level your weapon. I look good. Probably one of the best half circles I've ever actually seen. Alright, basically your standard deployment in this case out of the assembly vehicle. A little different if you got vehicles to pull out. In that case, you're probably going to just widen your half circle so that you have a big opening. You may drop your security also and see where I am. You need to see visual. Widen up the opening, say where Bullock would be and Lana would be. So Lana's already quite wide out in this case. We're we're going to pull out some vehicles. We'll get like Chip and pull up to come a little bit further over in this direction. And that way you can then easily get your vehicles in and out. A little bit different process for the hot drop, which is where we go out the side doors. If you please would embark the vehicle in your columns again into the hangar area.
Okay, so Eagle 4, go ahead and take the lead.
We're re-embarking, correct?
Yep.
Alright, we'll warm back in.
2 follows 3.
Yeah. Eagles, let's move on up.
Just took massive damage. GG.
Go ahead and get on board. There you go.
Cool. Alright, side doors, this is going to be more comparable to what you do in the Prowler. And what we would normally use is a hot drop method. It's usually what you're going to do if you're already dropping into an area where you know there's enemy contact nearby. Just so you don't funnel out a doorway out the back of the ship. It's called a fatal funnel, for those of you that aren't aware. So we go for the side doors. And once you go out the side doors, in this case, you will deploy in a prone position, not crouch prone, because it's stated before, especially if the ship is hovering, it's just less likely it's going to smack you in the back of the head from any kind of intense winds it might be enduring, and my Protect is full of those. So the way we typically going to do this, still trying to get the seat arrangement proper, not seat, but displacement arrangement a little bit more organized, because these doors keep opening and closing by themselves. What we do, you want to get your whole team as best as you can inside of your seat chamber. That would be over there, where your SL will be outside, standing right where call sign super is. And this way you can then easily identify who's going out one by one. Let's get a demonstration just going for fifth right now. So Tyler, if you could please stand where I'm pointing. And then everybody else, please go inside the port side seat chamber. Don't sit down, just if you have to side by side to try and make room, that's fine. Alright, keep your same numbers as before. In that case, I recommend shimmying around so that one is at the front with rear guard and back. And then Tyler will then just be calling you out after he's got his green light, one by one, or if he wants to do a full-blown displacement altogether, it's up to you. You don't have to use these numbers if you don't want to in that order. It's there as a guidance, but ultimately, for training's sake, you call them out one at a time. But you are free to just say full disembark. He would, in that case, he would not be calling out one at a time. He says full disembark, you just go. But also state, don't overtake the person in front of you. But as soon as that person moves, you follow them out. But as I said, for the sake of the day, we're going to call them out. So Tyler, whenever you're ready. Don't forget, you as an SL are part of the team. That would mean in this case Tyler's 3. Don't forget, when you say 3, you have to get out.
And to back up what he said, when you actually do single disembark, if you could just let your squad lead know when you disembarked, because I go out, like he said, as 3, and I can't see when someone leaves because I'm pulling patrol. So if you just let your squad lead know, like say 4 disembark, I can say okay 5, okay 6, and so on.
Absolutely.
Green light?
Green light, yep.
Alright, 1 disembark. 2 disembark. 3 disembark.
1 in position.
2 set.
4 disembark.
4 in position.
5 disembark. And 6 disembark.
5 in position.
6 posted.
Great. Alright, if Eagles, you want to come on over and get a bit of an idea visually, see what they're doing. As I said, go prone, please, just for the sake of training. This is not a requirement, but I do recommend it, especially if the ship is not on the ground. If it is not landed, I highly recommend you take a prone position.
button for prone?
It should be X by default. Yeah, X.
Yeah, mine's not working.
You may have to hold it down for a second.
Go ahead and, well, feel free to check your key bindings when you get a chance to. Same deal. Rod, if you want to go ahead and take your team the same way they just did, get you guys inside the seating area, and then just do the same process. Your green light whenever you're ready.
So then the SL posts up here or the CO posts up here?
SL. That would be you.
Yeah, I'll handle position 5.
Copy. Okay, Eagles, green light. 1, disembark. That's me, right?
Whichever one you set.
2, disembark. 1 posted. 3, disembark. 4, disembark. 5, disembark.
5 set.
Ship is clean, looking good. All right, everybody's pretty much got that. Any questions on that process?
So, wouldn't it make more sense for me to go last in that case? So I can choose whatever order I want, right? I don't have to go sequentially.
Yeah, it is entirely your call. You designate your team and the placement however you see fit. Now, mind you, if you say you place yourself, typically we try and keep the SLs in a position of, say, 3 or 4, depending on the size of your team. I don't put them at the front because that's usually the first person to be in contact. It's kind of a bad idea to have your SL doing a lot of the mapping and coordinating, as well as the person holding front security. So I'd say typically get them in the 3 or 4 placement. But even so, even if they are in any kind of placement, if you so want to, you can call out 1, 2, and if it's your number 3, you can skip that number and just go straight to 4, and then wait till you feel you're ready to just, you want to be that last guy. But do bear in mind, you typically do have a jump master here that will make sure nobody gets left behind, nobody's still on the ship that you're unaware of, and if they are, they will tell you.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I think if I were to do it again, I would probably not put myself as first, so I can actually see what's going on.
If you want to take a rerun of it, you're free to do so.
Yeah.
Alright. Go ahead and board up.
So Eagles, form back up.
You want Wolves to form back up, or?
You guys are free to observe for the moment. So you may break formation if you so please.
All Eagles boarded.
Copy.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Post up in the troop area, but don't sit down. Okay. So waiting for green light.
Go ahead and take this red light the chance to designate your placements. 1, 2, 3, 4, etc.
Copy. All right. Let's do Ashlyn as 1. Will is 2. Moon is 3, and Seppa is 4.
Roger that. Green light. I'm ready.
Okay. 1, disembark. 2, disembark. 3, disembark. 5, disembark.
2's in place.
And 4, disembark.
1 set.
5 set.
4 set.
2 set.
Brilliant. Yeah, a little unusual in the number choice, of course, but got the job done, and it's pretty much all there is to it. All the only thing I can emphasize on, I know it can get overlooked a little bit, especially with the game being janky as it is, just definitely make sure, as Tyler said at the beginning, once you go out and get into position, just make sure you call it out that you are set as soon as you are set, so that they know fluidly when to call the next person, ideally. Alright, last thing, as far as Atmo assault goes for today. Vehicle loading, unloading. Now, for the sake of time, I'm not going to get everybody to do this one at a time. You will use your FTXs accordingly when you want to practice Atmo assault some more. Everyone can take a smack at it. So for now, I'm just going to ask for one volunteer from each unit, 5th and the 14th. So, 5th, who wants to be a driver today?
Happily.
Cool. And 14th?
I will, unless someone else wants to. So, Rod.
Alright. Start with Bullock. That was you, right, Bullock?
Yes, affirmative.
If you could please go ahead and grab the rover and drive it up out at the ramp of the Valkyrie.
Copy.
Just as a little side thing too, we're trying to experiment a little bit with the 4th about how to actually hot drop a vehicle outside of the Valkyrie whilst it's in motion and not actually landed. So far, tests have proven kind of fatal, but pull it off is definitely something that will probably get incorporated in the training.
Eagles, you can move a little closer to the aft of the Valkyrie here. Keep your distance from it, but if you need to see the vehicle moving up here, you can do so.
Beginning my approach now.
Hell, record system crash restart.
Alright, hold it right there. Don't actually go inside, you can just leave it at the mouth of the ramp. Okay, so just a couple of things to note here when you're pulling in these vehicles. Now, I know sometimes we have a bit of a habit of trying to cram more vehicles than that they're supposed to be in a Valkyrie. Valkyrie is designed to carry one rover, not two rovers, not a Valkyrie and a rover and a Cyclone. Though we do that sometimes for the sake of efficiency. When things get more fleshed out, we won't do that. Kind of dangerous, and it can cause the ship to explode if you don't do it right. So, for the sake of protocol practice, we're just doing it with one rover. As you can see, it's pretty much all it's going to fit. Try and keep it up the center line ramp. That way you got two walkways on either side for infantry to accompany it if needed. Usually we do them separately. Vehicle will go out first, or the infantry, and then the vehicle, however you want to do it. I usually don't recommend doing them both together, but it's kind of up to you. Situations may vary, hot zones, and what have you. Might want to get out of the way, Tyler. Thank you.
It's like a point.
Yeah. So, what we're going to do, actually, if you want to, this is the tricky part, you're going to have to flip that thing around, William, and you're backing him, so.
Copy. Am I clear from behind?
Yep, moving out of the way. Everybody get out of the way. You should be clear.
Okay.
Tell you what, Tyler, if you want to talk to him to try and help me and get his angle there.
I got it.
Okay.
She's in.
A little bumpy, but it looks clean. Of course, I could just be desync. But anyway, nice center line. And as you can see, guys, you got your adequate walkways on either side to get through. Disembarking procedure is pretty much the same thing, just in reverse. But the reason why you bring the vehicle in backwards is just so it's so much easier and efficient. So when if you are dropping into a hot zone, the driver can instantly see what he's driving out into. Just obvious visibility reasons. So, any questions on that?
Do you want me to drive out so the flights can have a go at it?
Yep. Make it add a little complexity. Don't just drive it right out front. Go ahead, spin them around, give it some distance. So they got a bit of practice on angling.
Copy.
That'll be fun. Alright, Rod, you're up.
Sorry guys, I'm going to have to dip out early because it's 1 AM